welcome to JT Guitar. Today we're at the Fidelity stand here with Matt, the luthier and owner of Fidelity Guitars. Nice to meet you, Matt.
Good to meet you, man.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about your guitars. They look very distinct.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's been a happy accident, really. So we started out wanting to make something that was kind of influenced by classic designs, but not sort of same kind of Telecaster, Stratocaster shape that you get everywhere. So there's bits of Rickenbacker and Telly and all the things I love thrown in there, but at the same time trying to take it somewhere else that isn't like extreme, like Parker Fly kind of territory, but it's just a slightly different shape than you'd normally see. And then on the finishes, that's really come about through trying to do like layered paints and knowing what to do some sort of relicking and work back through it so you can see different colours coming out, and then overcooking it in the first instance until you end up with these kind of like rainbow stuff coming through and sunbursts and that kind of thing.
Well, that's something that's quite unique. They look like they're backlit. They look like neon finishes.
Yeah, so it's through building up from lighter colours on the back until you get to the darker ones on the top. It's all nitrocellulose, so you have to do it in a quite slow process, build it up, and then once you get to the darkest finish, going back down through it by hand with wire wool, just rubbing back around the grains and trying to find the patterns that are sort of hiding in there. So each one comes out how it wants to come out. It's a little bit trial and error, and it's really based on the piece of wood as much as what I wanted to do. But yeah, we've got some nice effects coming out of them.
So the cool thing about nitrocellulose is these are really designed to age then, aren't they?
Definitely. So they're not. This isn't how they'll continue to look forever. And it's really thin layers of nitro. So there's maybe only 8 or 10 coats of paint on each guitar. So it's not going to stay that one solid colour. As it gets older, it will crack, it will wear away, it will start to get lighter in places and stuff. So yeah, it will change as someone owns it.
When I was playing them earlier, I noticed the weight is really good because they're light, but they don't feel thin or light, or they don't feel cheap. They just feel like nice. What is that down to?
Yes, it's a mix of the wood and the chambering in there. So the woods we use tend to be swamp ash for pretty much all of them. There's a few different tops in there. So it's a mixture of straight up swamp ash and tempered swamp ash, so torrefied. So we tend to use like a 5mm torrefied top.
What does torrefied mean?
So I'll show you on this one actually. So torrefied means roasted. So it's been baked, so a lot of the moisture's come out of it, much lower moisture content, and it's when you can feel sort of the tap when you get the wood. It's a much sort of denser, kind of resonant piece of wood.
Let me just move this mic around behind the guitar.
So you can see it also changes the grain pattern. So this one's got a torrefied ash top. It tends to send the grain a bit deeper, which is really nice. It kind of plays into the whole sort of sinking paint thing that we've got going on. And then the rest of the guitar is sort of 35mm thick piece of swamp ash. So it's thin top, thick back. And then on the back we cut sort of deep chambers into it on both sides, sort of matched up so it's fairly balanced across the whole guitar. Takes some weight out, but also what it does is just lets it breathe a bit more, and you get that kind of, it's not going to be like a 335 or a fully semi-hollow guitar, but you get a bit of that kind of airy kind of character coming into it.
Character is the right word. It felt great to play. I was really impressed because I must admit I was like, they look very like worn or used, and it's quite easy to think, are they worn and used deliberately, or are they, I don't know, are they cheaply made? But they're not. They're absolutely not. And when you're here, I've seen photos and I wasn't sure, but then when you're here, you go, oh no, it all makes sense. It all adds up. And they sound great, because I first tried Alex from Xander Circuitry's got one. Those videos will be somewhere, link below. And God, they're great. I just love the finishes. Tell us about these weird pickups.
Yeah. So all the pickups that we're using at the moment are from Mojo pickups.
Sorry, say that again.
So all the pickups we're using from Mojo pickups, a guy called Mark up in Sheffield, who hand winds them all. We also work with guys at the Creamery and a few others, but most of the stuff we're getting is coming from Mark. I'll hold up so you can see it. So in this particular one, we've got gold foil in a Filtertron casing in the neck. And then a sort of Rails Supertron style, it's called a bladed Mojotron humbucker in the bridge. But this is like my personal favourite combination, because you get a really warm single coil sort of sound from the neck, but you've got a bit more punch and aggression from the bridge, especially when you stick some overdrive or distortion on it.
Looks really great. And what's the neck material? Is that a one-piece neck, or is that a cap?
Yeah, one-piece neck, so it's Wenge, so I think you saw it on some, it's like Warwick basses used them for a while, but it's not a bit of wood that you tend to see too much on guitar necks, but it's just really nice kind of, I think it's ebony families, it's dark wood, and then we're using a zebra wood skunk stripe on this. It's one-piece neck, but with a two-way truss rod, so you've got the adjustability you get with sort of a Gibson style neck, without but with more sort of that. There's something about the sound of a one-piece neck. I think old like maple neck Telecasters and that kind of thing, there's a definite kind of vibe to a one-piece neck. So what I wanted to go for with all of these. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because as I played it, I thought there was a kind of familiarity with it, because although it was a dark neck, it reminded me a little bit of I've got a Japanese telly from the 80s, and the neck feels a tiny bit like that, but then because it's satin, quicker, much quicker, but really, really vintagey, but really like a vintage feel, modern play.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. So the necks actually aren't nitro, they're oil finished, so that helps with that satin feel. So it's just maybe 5 layers of gunstock oil on there, something like that, and then rub back, so you get that kind of, it feels like an old guitar, but at the same time we're not doing any sort of aging relicking to sort of the front, to most of the neck or the frets or anything like that. We're trying to get it as slinky as possible whilst still feeling like an old guitar. So it's that balance between the two.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how they age and to like watch them on because they're going to be all over Instagram soon.
We'll do this again next year and year after, and we'll see how they change over time. Yeah.
So where can people find out more about you?
So come to the website, so it's fidelity-guitars.co.uk, or on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All the contact details are on the website. If anyone's interested in the current stock or commissioning one, most of the guitars we sell are sort of custom built, so whatever anyone wants in terms of wood and pickups and that kind of thing we can do for them. So just drop us an email, really. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.